mentioning Allah mentioned in the Quran to the Christians, go back to the book for the sake of argument. Where it's in the Quran, Allah mentioned that Allah sent down the Injil in order for the people to judge by it. Yes. And now doesn't mean the Bible. It doesn't mean because Allah that was at that time. You know, at that time. Also, what the other scholars mentioned about some verses, they're meaning that go back to the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Injil, not the Bible, by the way.
Exactly.
You see the Injil Allah never spoke about Paul, Mark, Luke, John, Matthew. Allah spoke about the Injil. So Allah is saying go back to the Injil. Why? Because in the Injil, Prophet Muhammad prophesied. How can we prove that? Because historically speaking, from Christians and likewise amongst the Jewish, the Israelites, that the Prophet Muhammad in Medina, likewise telling the Christians that my name is in your scripture. My description is in the scripture. What they could have done, simply and easily, here our scripture, show us where is this description. But what they did, they start hiding it. So if that was the Bible, why they were hiding it? Because the Christians said the Bible is not there. The Prophet Muhammad's name is not there. Yeah? So why they hide it? Because that was the Injil. So the Injil is still corrupted, but there's some truth in it. From that truth, that Allah, Jesus prophesies about Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Okay? So there's no connection between the two. Between telling the Christians, show us where Jesus said, I'm God and worship me. However, even this state, that was the argument of Ahmadiyyat, may Allah have mercy upon him. And me personally, I don't think this argument is very strong. Yeah, I don't think. You know why? Because even if Jesus said is God, in the Bible, God has many meanings. In the Bible, when the Jewish people said to Jesus, he said to them, why you want to try to stone me for? Is it because of the good work I have done? He said, no, because you claim to be equal to God. He said, is it not written in your law that I called you God? So now, Jesus here is quoting Psalms. Gods here mean judges. You see? Judge. Because God has many meanings in the Greek language, in the Hebrew language, that God all the time. So even if they say, for example, worship me, worship has different meaning. Worship, so worship, like you say, I worship this person, doesn't mean you take him as God beside Allah. You see? So, yeah, literal, see? That's why the best argument that I utilize against the Christians, that let us see if Christianity goes in line with our universal knowledge. What is universal knowledge? Our common sense, which a Christian, a Muslim, a Hindu, Sikh, atheist has it. What is that? It's illogical, irrational, impossible for something to be perfect from every angle and to be imperfect at the same time. This knowledge, you don't have to be a Christian or a Muslim or an atheist to accept this knowledge. Do you agree with that? Okay, where do we get that knowledge from? Is it because we learned that knowledge through society or because we were born with it? Now that's the question it goes back to. We were born with it. The proof for that, for example, that law of contradiction, that when a baby, 5 months old baby, start looking for he or her doll, if she finds the doll in one corner of the house, she will not start looking for the same doll somewhere else. Why? Because naturally she knows the doll will not exist at the same time in the same place. Understand? Likewise, by definition, not because we learned it, by definition, perfect go against imperfection. Especially if someone is perfect in everything. If God is perfect in everything, which the Christians accept, so how on the earth he become imperfect? And they do believe he's perfect all the time. That's why when we say Christianity doesn't make any sense, not because we are using, as they call, Islamic common sense. No, we are using the universal common sense. You understand? Put into it. That's why if you notice my videos, when I speak to a Christian, sincere Christian, atheist, Hindu, when I break down Islam to them, all of them they say why? Say what? Makes sense. Some of them accept, some said let me think about it. But wallahi, I was just speaking to my wife about it. No one has told me ever, when I broke down Islam to him, and he was a sincere person, honest person, told me, you know what, doesn't make any sense what you say. All of them says, you know, even last week there was 2 atheists here. She said to me, Islam makes more sense than Christianity. They know Islam worship one God, is perfect God. No God became a baby. So this argument of where in the Bible Jesus said God worship me, I mean you still can use it, but that's not the strongest one. No, I haven't seen. Me personally, I don't watch David Wood, and because he's a nasty person. He's so Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Look, there's difference between criticizing and between insulting. Like when I say to the Christians, how you believe God became a baby, and someone changes nappy, I'm not insulting. That's you believe. You believe that. You believe that when Mary was changing the nappy of Jesus, that was God. She was changing his nappy. I'm not. But when you say Prophet Muhammad is a pedophile, Prophet Muhammad never claimed he was a pedophile. We don't believe that. You understand? Even the term pedophilia is not universal defined. You see? Yeah. Aisha. Historically, for 1,300 years, I would challenge every Christian to show me where the Christian scholars said the Muslims that your prophet is a pedophile. Because why? It was practiced universally. Why? Because the girls, they were different, and even to the atheists. By definition, according to the Darwinian evolution, when the girl is allowed to get married, or she's ready for intercourse, when she reaches the age of puberty, and that can be 8 years old, 9 years old. So from Darwinian evolution is with us. From logical way is with us. From historical point of view is with us. But now they change in the Western world. They expect the whole world to change. Otherwise, we're gonna call you backward. How we're gonna do that? Using our weapon, which is the media. Understand? So I was watching a brother who was speaking to David Wood, and he was telling them Christianity doesn't make any sense. He said this to me. You can't say that. I don't want to mention his name, but the point here is the brother was good, alhamdulillah. He dealt with him good, nicely. However, you cannot tell them doesn't make any sense because this is my opinion, or to me. You're gonna say, okay, this is subjective. But when you tell them the reason I'm saying Christianity doesn't make any sense, because let us lay down universal knowledge, law of contradiction, you know, the mabda al-sababiyya, something to come into existence must have a creator. You understand? So this universal knowledge, God gave it to us. That's why I look to Islam. God programmed us, then He sent down a revelation that goes with our tools. Naturally, I know there's only one God, perfect God. I know that Islam. Let me look to Islam. Allah is perfect. Let me look to Christianity. Please. Let me look to Judaism. God regrets. God wrestled with Jacob. Some of them said he was God. Some said no, he was an angel. Or God, he was so worried about people speaking one language, building that is the Genesis. Now when they say no, we're not taking it true. You see, because they notice that this teaching clearly go against our universal knowledge, which is called common sense. You see, so when they say, when you ask the question, say Allah said go back to the Injil. Firstly, Allah said the Injil for the sake of argument. Allah never told us go back to the Injil. Allah said the Christians using the argument against them. Go back to the Injil that Jesus prophesied about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is a new scripture. You understand? And now, what the Christians in the Western world think, they think all the Christians around the world they had the same scripture. No, that was not the case. Yeah, different world. The Christians, the Arab world, are different. You understand? I mean, the Coptic in Egypt, they believe the Protestants and the Catholics are disbelievers. Yeah, so they believe Bob, Hatun are kuffar. They are disbelievers according to the Coptic. You understand? They do. There's many videos. Coptic scholars, they warn against Catholicism, they warn against Protestants. Yeah. So the point here is that you have to go back to the tafsir, go back to the context, and now we have to say to them, as Ibn Taymiyyah said, you Christians cannot utilize the Quran to prove your points. Why? Why they cannot do that? Why we can utilize the Bible to prove our points, but they cannot utilize the Quran to prove their points?
The Quran is the muhaymin over the Bible.
Okay, that's a muhaymin, but they're going to tell you, look, I understand that, but it's hypocrisy. Why are you allowed to use our Bible and we're not allowed to use the Quran, I guess, for our favor? You know why Ibn Taymiyyah said? Because we believe the Bible has some truth in it. Because we believe generally in scriptures.
Yeah,
but you believe,
muhaymin, right?
not just muhaymin, you believe the Quran was invented by a liar. And there's no one worse and most evil than a person who claims to be prophet of God. So while you are utilizing speech of the most evil person, the biggest liar to prove your point. Understand? But us, when you use scripture, I don't believe Jesus was a liar. I don't believe Moses was a liar. What is the criteria? The criteria are our universal
They
knowledge.
can't use the Quran to prove the Bible.
To prove the Bible, yeah.
They believe the Quran is...
Like that story, you know, the Indian man, he said he was an imam, and he said the reason I become Muslim, because I read in the Quran, Jesus been mentioned more than Prophet Mohammad. Wait.
Yeah, but you don't believe in the Quran, so
to begin with, so just a liar anyway, you know. But hold a minute, that's a proof against him, because if he was a liar, why is he going to mention someone else's name more than himself? And we know the nature of a liar, you understand? So, alhamdulillah, I mean, alhamdulillah, the brother there in America is doing a good job, alhamdulillah. Many brothers, they can't take it anymore. So they have to come to our table to disturb us, because they have noticed that we, people are accepting Islam. People like living Christianity, you know. So this I am God and worship me. Some brothers use it, but me personally, I don't think, because of the argument that has been used against it. Like I remember when the brother said, "We're in Speaker's Corner," and the Christian said, "Okay, I'm going to show you where Jesus was worshipped." Yes. So and he said he worshipped Jesus. Yes. And they're going to say, now, okay, now what are you going to say? Okay, we know worship has different meaning.